Wrestling fans, this week's episode is absolutely stacked with betrayals, returns, and jaw-dropping moments you won't believe. We're diving into everything that's got the wrestling world buzzing.
First up, Drew McIntyre made a thunderous return on Raw after his hiatus, but why did he target Sami Zayn? Plus, what's the real story behind his time away? We've got the details.
Meanwhile, the New Day's 10-year anniversary celebration ended in heartbreak. What's next after Kingston and Woods turned on Big E in one of the most shocking moments of the year?
And Cody Rhodes defended his WWE Championship on SmackDown, but Chad Gable's challenge might be just the beginning, with Kevin Owens waiting in the wings. Cody's record-breaking era is far from secure.
Plus, AEW have filed trademarks, Maximum Carnage, Maximum Combat, Maximum Mayhem. What could these mean for the company's future? Is a new era of chaos on the horizon? Maximum.
Oh, and in our Buried Alive segment, we're calling out the officials who are clearly former wrestlers. Jason Jordan, Jamie Noble, we do see you. I see you there. Should WWE drop the pretense of this?
You don't want to miss this one. Hit subscribe, settle in, and get ready for the hottest takes in wrestling, because this is the burning truth, and we're just getting started. Hey, it's Scott Barrett, and welcome to the burning truth. And as always, I'm joined by a man whose beard could cut a heel-turn promo better than Triple H himself. It's Matt Burns, everybody.
My beard is better than the game.
Terrible impression. How are you?
It wasn't meant to be good. It wasn't meant to be good. Yeah, I'm not too bad. A bit sore, a bit achy. You know, when you get a briefcase being hit in your back.
Oh, talk to us about that. What happened? Where were you?
I was at UKWA last night for Christmas Chaos.
Oh, in Crewe?
In Crewe, Coppenhall, Working Men's Club. And I will say, I think someone got a little bit trigger happy during the match. And you know when you sit there, you think, I've got this in the bag. I've got it. And then you suddenly forget that it's no disqualification. And pay the price.
With a briefcase. Did the briefcase have a certain golden ticket inside it?
Pretty much. That's what we were all fighting for, to be able to have the right to fight for any UKWA championship at
so the
any
golden
time.
ticket is UKWA's Money in the Bank.
Pretty much, but with an added twist of any match.
Yeah.
Rule, stipulation. So that was that's interesting, but I feel as though I had a good showing.
Good stuff. But anything else going on this week?
Well, with that, we almost that actual match it actually did affect the main event as well, because there was almost a cash in as well.
Oh wow, okay, but almost a cash in. So that golden ticket's still in play for you
it's
for the
still
shows
in
the new year.
Yeah, it's still in play. It's not been officially cashed in, but the danger of it is all champions are on notice. But at the same time, that's ended up leading to the finish of the match, like cause and effect. So the champion retained, DDV did, against Basham, but that led to an epic I Quit match for the next UKWA show in the new year. And to say stakes couldn't be any higher, believe me when I say this, the winner gets the championship, the richest prize in UKWA. You can't go any higher. But what does the loser get? A P45 and out the door.
Oh, wow. So loser leaves sort of gimmick here. That's fantastic. Gone. Where can they find details on this, Matt Burns? Got a website? Or?
Oh, yeah. They've got a website of UKWrestlingAlliance.com. That's where it should be all up there. You can check on their social medias for UKWA. Just look up UKWA Wrestling, UK Wrestling Alliance. It's on it's a bit behind on the TikTok a little bit, but Instagram it's on there, Threads it's on there, It's on on Facebook, of course, and of course X/Twitter, whichever you want to call it.
It's on the Twix.
It's on the Twix. I like that one.
Maybe I'm just hungry. Who knows? I haven't had any tea.
Let me guess, you just like the snap.
Absolutely.
But overall, I will say I am sore, I am achy, but it was still all worth it.
Yeah, good. Glad you had a good night.
Definitely.
Glad you had a good night.
Definitely.
Anything else going on in your week that wasn't Saturday night's wrestling?
Well, basically, it was more or less sort of just getting ready for that. Looking forward to the burning truth as always. But
been a big week, right?
Oh, definitely big week. And we've also got some interesting news for the burning truth, which we'll have to break that down into something that we're going to be doing after this. But before we get there, as much as I've had a good week and it's been absolutely epic, how's your week been, Scott? And how are you?
Thanks, mate. Thanks for asking. It's been busy, I am absolutely swamped with day job work, not going to lie. Plus the fact that we've got so much on the slate for this week. So, we know we're recording this on Sunday night right now. Probably go out on Monday or Tuesday night. People will be listening to this, hopefully, if you love us and you want to listen to the burning truth. But, I was thinking about what I've got on the slate for this week. So we've got NXT Deadline reaction and review on the YouTube Live. Got the both of us this week, probably Tuesday night, are going to get on YouTube Live to do the Saturday night's main event predictions, which will be huge. We've got NXT review then probably Wednesday night on YouTube Live that I'll do. Mm-hmm. Friday night, United Wrestling Live in Stoke-on-Trent, so I'll be there as part of that. I know you will too. You can find all the details on that, stokeontrentvwrestling.co.uk. Saturday, I'm actually surprising my family with a trip to the, being quiet here because I'm in the kitchen, to the Disney on Ice, which I think is going to be absolutely fantastic. And then Sunday, I'll be back on YouTube Live doing the WWE Saturday Night's main event live review. So it's like every other day we've got something in this week. It's going to be absolutely fabulous for wrestling content. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm just hoping that by the time we get to midweek, some of the day job work has just calmed down just a little bit to give me time to filter some of these things in. But really exciting. Busy, but really exciting, Matt Burns. Really, really exciting. And it hasn't been the only things this week that are exciting.
Oh, of course.
There's more exciting things.
There's always exciting things, especially when we've got to discuss some of the things that we've got that's been happening in the world of wrestling.
Absolutely. And we call that segment
The News!
So just sit tight, don't blow a fuse, because now it's time for this week's news.
This just in on The Burning Truth, The News!
The news. Go on, Matt Baines, what's in the news?
Well, let's just jump straight into it. Drew McIntyre's WWE hiatus explained. After his intense feud with CM Punk, culminated at Bad Blood, Drew McIntyre took a brief hiatus from WWE. Triple H clarified that McIntyre wasn't injured, but was given time off to recharge. McIntyre was eager to return, and as such, breaks are a part of WWE's, strategy to keep storylines fresh and also keep their workers also always ready, prepared, and injury-free as much as possible.
Do you know what? I love this. WWE's card is absolutely stacked. That doesn't mean we need everybody on TV at the same time.
Not just that. There's also a little bit of a tinge of an actually added bit of news on top of this, because I've heard the rumor of it that there's going to be plenty of pre-recordings heading up to the holidays, if I'm not mistaken. Which I believe some fans on X were a bit upset, but it's like I understand why they're upset, but for me personally, I feel as though some of the wrestlers do need to have a break. They need to have some family time, especially during the holidays. So when Mia Yim sort of clapped back and said, "Well, we've got families too," and sort of pointed out, the fan in question who said it is like, "Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I completely apologise."
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But I suppose for me, the other side of this is just that he's had time off not around Christmas. He's just had time off in the year. What a good place for WWE to be in, where Drew McIntyre, who's been one of the stars of 2024, hasn't been on TV for 4-6 weeks. And he's such a big presence, but we haven't really missed him because the card is so stacked. So it makes sense to take people off TV intermittently when we haven't got anything for them to do. And when there is something for them to do, bring them back with a bang. Case in point, Drew McIntyre. Case in point, Shinsuke Nakamura. But there you go. Let me talk to you about somebody else who was stacked at the top of a card for a very long time. Hulk Hogan and his potential WWE return. So WWE is reportedly in discussions to bring back the Hulkster for the December 14th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event. The move aims to honour the original 1985 event where Hogan defended the then WWF Championship against Cowboy Bob Orton. Jimmy Hart has already been confirmed for the show, so Hogan's return seems really plausible. Ooh. It's also heavily rumoured that Hulk Hogan will be part of the new A&E WWE series called WWE Legends and Future Greats, which will see wrestlers attempting to earn a WWE contract with coaching from the likes of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and potentially Hulk Hogan. So there's loads and loads of legends being sort of linked to that show. So you'll have potential signees and veterans of the ring sort of supporting each other to try and win these contracts. So it's not really clear when that show will debut, but I think part of Hogan coming back for this may mean he's going to be back for that show as well. If it was me, that's what I would be looking at.
Yeah, it's a good call. For me, that sounds like a bit similar to the Tough Enough format, but with an added caveat of having such wealth of knowledge and experience on who other judges are going to be.
It's almost a hybrid of the original NXT format and the Tough Enough format.
Yeah.
And they've merged them together, which I really like.
Yeah.
What else is in the news, Matt Burns?
Well, of course, AEW's new trademark, filings, with AEW filing.
This was strange, right?
Yeah. Even I thought that, with them filing for trademarks for Maximum Carnage, Maximum Mayhem, and Maximum Combat. Which, how maximum can you be?
If they just had the maximum male models, they'd be all over it, wouldn't they? What do they call that team in AEW?
MXM.
What's that?
I'm just trying to think now. It's not maximum male models, but
is it maximum something? I'm just wondering whether one of them's in line for a title shot. They're going to win the belt, and maybe Mansoor's going to win the title and is going to be maximum everything.
I don't know, but these filings cover various entertainment services, including wrestling content and television production. It's yet to be revealed how AEW plans to, utilize these trademarks. Who knows? Could this be part of another television show or another event?
Maybe. I'm unsure whether it's that or whether these are going to be match titles, and they're going to rename the street fight the cage match. For example, like Maximum Carnage could be the street fight, Maximum Combat could be the cage match, Maximum Mayhem could be weapons. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, I believe that one of them is going to have to be, at the very least, the, if I'm not mistaken, Stadium Stampede, their version of it, instead of it being a stadium, that could be what it's called in a regular venue.
Yeah, you're right. You've got an arena. Good shout. What about the Bloodline? Let me tell you about the Bloodline, Matt Burns. The Bloodline members, or the Floodline, as we're calling them, aren't we? The fake Bloodline, Solo's Bloodline, members have been sidelined after that big WarGames match. There's been a few injuries. So following that recent WarGames match at Survivor Series, it resulted in significant injuries for the Bloodline, including Bronson Reed, who suffered a really nasty broken ankle following the jump off the top of the cage. Ooh. I did see his tweet, though. Double-R'd Bronson Reed is. His tweet said, "Injuries are temporary, moments last forever." I loved that. That's proper Mick Foley thinking, isn't it? Tonga Loa, the botch master, he tore his bicep, so he needs surgery. And both are expected to be out for several months, which will impact upcoming storylines. Also, though, Jimmy Uso has also injured. Apparently, he's broke his toe.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that injury is. Not probably quite as bad as a torn bicep or a broken ankle. But there was a third injury to a member of the original Bloodline in that case. But yeah, not good that all these injuries happened in the WarGames match. And I think it is the third year in the row, Matt Burns, that we've had injuries following WarGames. So we probably need to look at that and, just think about some of the spots that we're doing.
It's something that does need to be heavily considered with what exactly happened and everything. Now, to some might sit there and say Tonga Loa tore his bicep and everything, with storylines. At the moment, he is a good filler, but he's not. He sort of seems to be like the modern, he almost seems like the modern Sin Cara.
He's just...
And I'm not on about the second version, I'm on about the original.
Yeah, he's just... Tonga Loa. I want him to do so much better. I really do.
Yeah,
I hope he turns it around. But, doing things like that low blow when he hit Tama Tonga on the head, the video's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed, ow! Yeah,
it looked rough, and he is absolutely double hard for going through that and doing the spot off the top of the cage in the first place. I am surprised that no members of either women's WarGames team were injured, because actually, when I think back, their spots were probably more high risk than what the men did, and yet we had 3 injuries in the men's. So
I think some of it was due to potential I believe on other podcasts that I've actually been witnessing, because yes, we do check out other podcasts ourselves.
Of course we do. Shout out 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff.
Of course. But I feel as though there were some minor mistakes that sort of, by them doing the minor mistakes, they didn't exactly lead to a proper injury. Could have, but it didn't. So they're actually very lucky. But for that, I'm just going to just say they're very lucky in that sense. And let's get to our final piece of news for this week, shall we?
Yeah.
Which is, you mentioned that, Hulk Hogan is potentially returning.
I did, potentially.
He's not going to be alone. Well, Jesse Ventura is coming back.
What?
Yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura is coming back to WWE. Officially confirmed. Jesse Ventura is set to return to WWE as a commentator for Saturday Night Main Event, December 14th. This marks his first appearance since signing a Legends deal, with Ventura suggesting that Vince McMahon's departure is basically what sort of allowed him to return.
Unbelievable. Can I just tell you how amazing I think this is? So for those who don't know who Jesse Ventura is, because there's a lot of people who won't know, Jesse Ventura, absolute classic wrestling character, wrestled for a time, probably most famous for his run as a colour commentator alongside Vince McMahon in the early days of the WWF, especially during the Saturday Night's Main Event broadcasts, and was absolutely phenomenal in the role. Jesse Ventura, genuinely, he's a different taste to what we're used to hearing these days on TV as a colour commentator, but he was fabulous at the time, and absolutely has his own style. Since then, been the governor of California, went into politics, done loads of different things, but
yeah,
phenomenal.
It's interesting. I believe he also had a TV show of conspiracy theories, but the fact is, he even went into movies. He even went into some movies where he didn't have time to bleed, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, genuine movie star as well, absolutely.
Yeah, but at the same time, part of me is wondering, is it really him? Or is someone pulling a trick and, pulling the wool over our eyes, and they're just going to have Karrion Kross doing the impersonation of him, because that is so good.
I can't see that, mate, but it is funny. Absolutely.
I'm just saying that as a joke, just in case.
Right, I'll tell you what, Matt Baines, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll do the review of Raw and SmackDown.
Of course.
Okay then, so let's talk about Monday Night Raw. So December 2nd, 2024, the edition of Monday Night Raw, which came from Everett, Washington. Episode again was packed with high-octane action and unforgettable moments. Let's dive in. We started off with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. CM Punk first came out to address the WWE Universe. Do we still call it that? I think we do.
Yep, we do.
And and he was reflecting on his recent WarGames match, and he was hinting at his future ambitions. The atmosphere intense. Hold on a minute. Can we just talk about that? So the WWE Universe, that's a proper Vince McMahonism, right?
Yeah.
And we normally take the mick out of Vince McMahonisms now, don't we?
Yep.
Like, did you hear Kevin Owens on SmackDown? Did you hear him? He was telling Michael Cole to get the hell out of his rental vehicle. Just, like, properly a Vince McMahonism rental vehicle. Okay, so CM Punk's in the ring. He's talking about what happened at WarGames and his ambitions for the future. And then Seth freaking Rollins interrupted, which led to a really heated exchange. We're desperate to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
God, I hope it comes soon.
It's got to come soon. And the weird thing about it is, when I was watching that segment myself, I was just there thinking to myself, ooh, is Punk leaning to that a certain dark side again?
We've got it. We've absolutely got to pull the trigger on this. And I don't know if it comes earlier or if it comes at WrestleMania, but I'm here for it. Whenever it comes, I'm here for it. It escalated into a brawl. Tensions between these two are reaching boiling point, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation at some point. But again, it's just that little tease on CM Punk and Seth Rollins that they started way back at Survivor Series 2023 when Punk returned. And, you know, Rollins did that phenomenal job of selling that he was back and he was angry about it. Whether he was or not, he sold it really well. Really, really well. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Damage Control in tag team action came up after that. We had the match concluding with Rodriguez delivering a Tajana bomb. Is that what she calls it? I think it is the Tajana bomb.
I know what you're on about it. It's like a
one-armed
one-armed power bomb there. I'm just trying to think of the pronunciation.
I think it is Tajana bomb. Anyway, so she hits that on Kairi Sane, securing the victory for her team. Post-match, Rhea Ripley attempted to assault, but was thwarted by Rodriguez, who slammed Ripley's eye into the announce table corner. Did you see it?
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure that Rhea didn't. After.
Do you know a couple of years ago when they did the whole Seth Rollins putting Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio's eye into the corner of the ring steps?
Yeah.
This was that, but done really well.
You mean correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this, we got a Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament beginning. So the tournament to crown the inaugural Intercontinental Champion commenced with a triple threat match. So we're getting exactly the same format as what we've just done on SmackDown with the United States title. And what I mean by that is Adam Pearce has no original ideas, so he's just copying Nick Aldis. Bit of shade there for Pearce. So triple threat match for the first spot, if you like, in the semi-finals. Dakota Kai, Katana Chance, and Shayna Baszler. Katana Chance absolutely is underrated in my opinion. Really, really like her. Dakota Kai, though, emerged victorious, and I was a bit annoyed about that as well. She pinned Katana Chance after a fireman's carry into a knee strike, advancing into the next round and moving closer to her first singles title. Do you know why I'm angry about Dakota Kai winning?
Go on.
Because she was in the match with another person who should have won. And I'm not saying Dakota Kai didn't deserve to win, but this bracket isn't right because Shayna Baszler, you know, sulking off with Zoe Stark. Yeah, so sulking around with Zoe Stark backstage. And it's not just Zoe Stark, is it, though? It's Zoe Stark and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Pure Fusion Collective. Worst stable name ever.
Never to repeat that again. Never repeat that name again. It's banned.
Yeah.
It's on the ban list.
PFC. So I think Shayna Baszler is underused on Monday Night Raw. Totally should have got a win here. So should Dakota Kai. The bracket's wrong because they both should have been in matches where they could have gone through. But there you go. Dakota Kai's on her way. She's definitely in the semi-finals now. And do you know what? She's a great shout for the Intercontinental title. However, I still believe that although the United States Championship should be used to tell a story, plug to the pre-book this that I did last week, it should also be the Intercontinental title on the flip side should be used to put over a new star like a Lyra Valkyria. In my mind anyway. After this, we got the best segment on TV this week in any wrestling promotion, probably in any TV show in the world. Right, this next segment was better than the entire 2 hours of Skeleton Crew we got on Disney Plus. And it was the New Day 10-year anniversary turning sour, because a decade of the New Day was celebrated. They came out as the babyfaces that they are, and the festivities took a shocking turn. Big E interrupted the celebration, attempting to mend rifts between Kofi and Woods. However, his efforts were met with hostility as Kingston and Woods both turned their back on him, ordering Big E out of the ring. The unexpected betrayal left fans in disbelief, and it was really heartbreaking to watch Big E walk out of the ring and walk up the ramp after being unceremoniously kicked out of the New Day, basically.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking chapter in the New Day's legacy.
Heartbreaking. All I will say to you is, as soon as I heard the now, I was like, oh, it's Woods. But then when you hear Kofi come flying in, it's like, oh, no!
Yeah, they're back on the same page. Both of them turned heel, and we've got a heel New Day. And I don't know if you remember this, but I called this a few weeks ago that we would have a heel New Day together, and I'm really happy about it.
There's actually a little bit of extra to add on top of this for you.
Oh, is this the Odyssey Jones bit?
Bingo.
Go on, talk to us about that. I'll let you have it.
The original plan was to have Odyssey Jones replace Biggie.
Yeah.
Now, there were supposedly rumours, and they were saying they were setting things up almost as if Odyssey was manipulating the New Day into this new realm of thinking. And I sort of thought to myself, nah, it's not. And when you sit back and you rewatch certain bits, and you just go back and you thought, now that I've just heard that, I want to check this out. And I went back and I just sort of just went, just look at the gear that they're wearing and the red, the red t-shirts that they're wearing. It's like, ooh.
Do you know what though? I'm not mad about the way it's turned out. I think it's been really good. Build. I think it was a really good turn. I think they did a great job, and I think they'll go into whatever's next with, total. I can put it this way: I can see them winning the tag titles in the next few months.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think they'll be the champions going into WrestleMania. Tell the truth, honestly, I do. Got momentum on the side.
The only question I've got for it is, are they going to change their theme? Is there going to be a new look about them?
I hope not, and I hope not.
For me, personally, I wouldn't mind it, but either way, I'm happy, because, again, this is another bit where we're sitting there saying, we don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, and we're good with it. All right, let's move on. Next, we got Gunter versus Dominic Mysterio. Gunter showcasing his dominance against Dirty Dom, securing the win with a massive powerbomb. The aftermath saw Finn Balor deliver 3 coup de grace to Gunter, sending a clear and menacing message. And listen, when you listen to Finn, you win. Apparently, Finn Balor is being looked at as a real top dog backstage currently, a real locker room leader, and apparently he's in for a huge push going into 2025. I'm starting to wonder now, genuinely, he's got a title match with Gunter at Saturday night's main event. Before I would have thought there's no way he's getting through that, and then let's be fair, he probably will be screwed by Damian Priest, and we'll probably then get a triple threat match at the next Saturday night's main event. However, I can really see Finn coming out of that with the championship, because, well, it's a bit of bias, but I love him, right? Genuinely, I love him.
Yeah.
I've got a huge man crush on Finn Balor. Next, we had R-Truth versus Pete Dunne. Not Butch, Pete Dunne. And in a surprising upset, R-Truth defeated Pete Dunne. The crowd's persistent Butch chants, though, they did distract Dunne for a time, and that allowed R-Truth to capitalise with that roll-up for the win. But it was, it's just a bit of fun, that whole story, isn't it? But it's giving them both something to do on the show, which is good.
Yeah. And and anything with R-Truth is just comedy gold.
I would like to see, I can't remember who I heard this on. It might have been on one of Simon Miller's shows. Shout out Simon Miller, we love you too. He was talking about the Royal Rumble, and he said it would be brilliant if R-Truth was in the ring with Pete Dunne and they worked together, and then Pete Dunne got eliminated, and Butch came out, and then R-Truth was like really angry at Butch. Like R-Truth got like Pete Dunne got to go out twice, once as Pete Dunne and once as Butch.
But then wouldn't that mean that if R-Truth goes out, he can come back as K-Quick?
Well, maybe. But I just thought it was funny. I thought it was a good idea. And then in the main event, we had Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. Zayn contemplated using a chair in this, but Rollins denied any involvement in a prior attack on Jey Uso, which happened earlier in the night. That led Zayn to discard the weapon. The hesitation allowed Reigns to secure a quick pinfall victory, and the night concluded with the unexpected return of Drew McIntyre, who delivered a devastating claymore to Sami Zayn, signalling his return with some serious authority. It was great to see Drew McIntyre back. It's obvious now that we think he attacked Jey Uso earlier in the night because he hates anyone that's associated with Roman Reigns. And then the same with Sami Zayn in the ring after the match. So Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, both taken out in the same night by Drew McIntyre. And I think Raw was a roller coaster of emotions, to tell the truth. It set the stage for, Saturday night's main event, which is coming now this weekend coming. And I think we've got lots and lots to look forward to. Absolutely, for Monday Night Raw this week.
Do you love NXT?
Yeah.
Do you hate that we don't talk about it on the podcast?
Hell yeah, what's up with that?
Well, you can catch all the NXT action live on our YouTube streams every week if you subscribe at The Burning Truth 251 on YouTube and listen to me, Scott, and I'm talking all things NXT every week on a Wednesday. See you there.
What about SmackDown, Matt Burns? Have you got any details on that?
Well, for SmackDown, which aired on December 6th, 2024, which was at the Target Center in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, in Minnesota. But, of course, we had the opening segment with Cody Rhodes being confronted by Chad Gable. Huh?
Ooh.
Hang on. Cody Rhodes, SmackDown. Chad Gable. Chad, did you take a wrong turn somewhere?
I don't think so. I think this is all part
of course,
the transfer window is what they're calling it, right? It's like Premier League football, Matt Burns.
But for wrestling. Love it. But anyway, the show kicked off with WWE champion Cody Rhodes addressing the crowd, hyping the return of Saturday Night main event. Chad Gable, flanked by the American Made faction, interrupted, claiming to be Minnesota's greatest athlete. The verbal exchange, I will say, led to a challenge for the main event match between Cody and Gable later on in the evening. Now, I thought this segment was absolutely brilliant, especially when Cody mentions that they're both masters of dealing with failure. And he brings up the whole Stardust gimmick of him, but then he reminds Chad Gable of that gimmick that he was given. Shorty. I can't say it.
Shorty G.
No, I can't. I just can't say it. I hated that gimmick that much. It was just, no.
Wasn't that bad.
I felt like getting a newspaper roll and going up to Vince and smacking him, just going, no, stop it. Genuinely. But anyway, after that, straight that segment, we ended up with some backstage chaos. Just from the Bloodline, the Floodline arriving, because we had Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga storming into the arena with their usual aggression, pretty much taking out Apollo Crews and any backstage hand.
So they were checking bags backstage, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they pushed past Apollo. Apollo was like, what are you doing? They took his teeth out and then took out all the security guards too.
Yeah, just pretty much just get out of our way. We run this place. We own this place.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
So then lead into match 1, which is the Women's United States Championship Tournament, which has, Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Elektra Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. First quarterfinal match of the Women's United States Championship Tournament, we saw Tiffany Stratton claim a major victory in front of a hometown crowd. Stratton's athleticism and high-stakes environment made this an early highlight. It was absolutely great, but at the same time, if you think about it, she could actually do something quite amazing here because she's still in the tournament and she's still got that briefcase.
Yeah,
it's always a case. It's always there. It's always
while we're talking about the United States title, I'll say it again. The Women's United States title. If you haven't listened to last week's episode of The Burning Truth podcast, make sure you go back, because I did a pre-book for the United States title, what I think should happen, and it's also on our website, theburningtruthuk.com, in blog form for you to read. So if you haven't got time to go away and listen to last week's episode, get yourself on the website, get yourself on the blog, and just give it a browse.
Definitely. You know what? That's some serious facts there. That is some serious facts.
Some Matt facts.
Of course it is. Of course. But match 2, Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven. This, I will say, Piper Niven, was fighting back, viciously, being aggressive, but Bianca Belair was no slouch.
Do you know what? This week we had Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
We had Gunter versus Dominic. We had Cody versus Chad Gable, and we had the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY, and Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven was match of the week.
Yeah, this was absolutely amazing, because at the same time, you got them both showcasing power, determination, showing, grit, as more importantly, with Bianca ultimately securing the win with an impressive KOD. But it wasn't just any regular KOD, it was a KOD onto Chelsea Green.
It's Chelsea Green.
Of course. But the aftermath saw tensions rise backstage as the women's division speculated on the mystery attacker from previous weeks, possibly teasing a future showdown involving Bianca. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think I feel like almost, I think I know what you mean, like Mick Foley said in the past.
Who do you think did it?
I'm actually thinking your theory might be becoming more true.
Bianca.
I'm thinking it could be Bianca.
So the majority of the theory online right now, on X, on
Twitter, X, whatever.
Yeah,
Twix.
all them. Twix, yeah. And other sites. Shout out Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky at TBT Live UK. All the theories seem to be pointing at Naomi this week, and I think that's a red herring. I still think I'm right, and I think it's Bianca. I genuinely do.
I do. I just feel as though Naomi's being
Can I give you my new theory?
Go on.
So now I think this is how it'll happen. I think she'll come back. I think she'll just be ready to get back. I think they'll be defending the tag titles on her first night back, and that's when Bianca does it.
Oh.
And they lose the titles within that match to whoever they're taking on.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
Oh, yeah. Well, after that match, we had a backstage segment with tension boiling over, featuring the women's division drama, a heated conversation backstage involving Naomi, Bianca, and other, revolved around the mystery surrounding Jade Cargill's attack. Piper Niven's role was heavily questioned, adding intrigue to the storyline. Maybe. But then again, if you think about it, though, how many people would you say that could have brutalised Jade Cargill?
Oh, not many.
Not many, and that's what I'm saying. So it's very selective. Now, for me, I still think it's Bianca. I do. But anyway,
me too.
Moving into match 3. The original scheduled program was meant to be for the WWE Tag Team Championship, Motor City Machine Guns versus, I believe, it was the Street Profits originally. However, due to a vicious attack that had happened on the Street Profits, with no idea of who it was, although there was speculation it could have been Tommaso Ciampa, but we've got Johnny Gargano putting in a claim where, straight into that saying, no, we can do it, don't worry, and we literally got him sitting there saying, try and jump in and everything, but the Motor City Machine Guns were all up for it. We're happy. They got the match. They sat there and says, you want the match? We want a match. We're happy to defend against DIY.
It was a really good segment, actually, because it went straight from finding them both injured to walking across and telling Nick Aldis, telling the Motor City Machine Guns that the match was off.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Gargano was in his street clothes, and he was like, if you want a match, DIY will do the match. We'll step in. That's fine. And it was just really good how they did it, and I was not expecting what came next, Matt Burns.
Of course, of course. The match was absolutely thrilling for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and DIY captured them.
Yeah.
And I was just... No, think about that. DIY are now the WWE Tag Team Champions.
Madness.
But how they got there is complete mix of tactical brilliance, relentless energy, and pure evilness. And it is evil. The victory marked a triumph moment for the, I'd say, reunited duo, but, and further cementing their legacy. But what was so clever about the segment, I sat there and thought to myself, no, this has been planned. And especially when you see what had happened with the whole chair being slid in, and it actually connected with the referee. So it was like, was that planned? Low blow from Gargano, super kick, and then as he tags in, with Tommaso, you're literally saying, yeah, that worked. Now the question we've got to ask ourselves, how far back has Gargano been involved?
Since the start, I reckon. It's all their play.
I think it almost feels like a bit of something that appears from NXT seems to be rearing its head. A bit of the way, if I'm not mistaken.
I think definitely, because after you saw him backstage then embracing his real life wife and on screen wife as well.
Yeah.
The poison pixie herself, Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
We might be seeing the way, but obviously
with a few differences
out and
one
Ciampa in.
Yeah, which straight away for me, I am absolutely in all for this. The only thing I feel as though it's a bit unfortunate with this is it feels a bit of a carbon copy of what happened on Raw, a little bit.
Yeah,
with the New Day. The only
it's not happened to the same, but it is another tag team that's been, one's been good, one's gone bad, and now they've both gone bad.
Yeah, it's sort of been back and forth, but the only difference is, I think this one had more of a shock value to it because the reveal wasn't on like a third member. Instead, it was in the match, the title, and the plans paid off.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's similar, but at least it's a little bit of a difference. But anyway, we digress. Let's move on to the main event, which was none other than Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Cody Rhodes battled Chad Gable in a absolutely, technical brilliance main event.
Yeah.
Rhodes secured the victory, but the celebration was short-lived as Kevin Owens blindsided him with a post-match attack. The brawl escalated tensions between Cody and Owens, fueling their rivalry ahead of Saturday night's main event. And I'll be honest with you, a part of me is actually wondering, could Kevin Owens actually win the match? I don't know why. I just got this feeling about it.
But Kevin Owens is going to beat Cody?
Possibly. There's an air of mystery of it, and even rumours going round.
Do you want to hear an out there theory?
Go for it.
What if Randy comes back and costs Cody?
Oh, and oh no,
whether on purpose or by accident, either way, it's a good story.
I feel as though it's going to be on purpose, but it's going to be as a hooded figure, RKO's him, opens up the hood to reveal Kevin Owens was right t-shirt.
Oof.
But anyway. Other highlights.
Just before Christmas, man.
Oh, I know. Kevin Owens, you Grinch. But anyway, other highlights, injury updates revealing, Bronson Reed being injured, Tonga Loa being injured, and Jimmy Uso being injured are definitely out due to the Survivor Series injuries. WWE teased the transfer window for brand tables, stirring excitement for potential, a big, massive roster shake-up. Overall, the show takeaway, I personally feel as though this post-Survivor Series episode delivered thrilling matches and moved key storylines forward with title changes, tournament drama, and intense rivalries that are developing. SmackDown once again proved why it is must-watch TV. Yeah.
100%. 100%. Huge week for Raw and SmackDown. And don't forget to check out the YouTube for the NXTs. Shall we take a break, Matt Burns?
Yep. And
maybe when we come back,
yeah,
I'll let you get that shovel.
You mean the one I've already got right now?
Hello, friends. Are you enjoying the Burning Truth Live so far? Well, I hope you are, because we're working bloody hard to make it as good as we can. But what we need is your help. And we need your help by subscribing and leaving us a 5-star review. You do not know how much it will help the podcast if you can do that for us. It'll help us spread the word, help us grow the community, and more than anything, it'll help us keep providing amazing wrestling content like we are right now. Thank you so much for listening. Let's get back to the show. But please, please, please rate and review and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here for Buried Alive.
It's Buried Alive!
Which is wrestling's equivalent to Room 101.
Yeah, this is Buried Alive. I absolutely love that theme. And what we do is we take something that we really don't like about wrestling. Sometimes it's suggested by you guys at home. Sometimes it's something me and Matt Burns think of. But it's always a storyline, an angle, or a match that is absolute trash and should be buried alive for all time to never see the light of day again. This week, Matt Burns, we've had a suggestion. It's come through on our Twitter, or Twix, or X. And it is officials being former wrestlers, and it's when the announced team ignore it. So you know when there's like a big brawl in the ring and loads of referees and officials come out to break it up?
Yeah.
And then you do that thing where we do the... it's like...
the P6 brawl.
It's like Easter eggs. We're like, oh, there's Hurricane, and oh, there's Jamie Noble, there's Jason Jordan, and that's Bobby Roode. And it just takes me out of the moment, right? I don't know why they ignore them when it's really obvious that it's like former wrestlers. I don't know why they don't just mention it.
Yeah. It to be honest with you, it does anger me because a few times I've seen Kenny Dagster on there as well.
Yeah. And why they don't just say, like, oh, the officials are coming down, here's the Hurricane, here's Shane Helms, here's Jamie Noble to help break up the fight.
I think the only reason why they're trying to not to do that is because not to put the focus on them. That's all it is. So I understand it to a degree, but I feel that's disrespectful to the individual who's
it takes me out of the moment.
Yeah.
If they're not going to mention them, why send them out? Just let the refs go. Do you know what I mean?
Just, send out some extras. Send out some people who the WWE universe don't know yet.
The ring crew or somebody, yeah.
Yeah. Straight away, that would be the right decision to do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
if you're going to have a name in there, and especially if they're getting pushed, because it feels though when they're involved, they just get pushed aside. It's like, well, they used to be a wrestler, so why aren't they just stopping them?
I don't even mind them getting pushed aside if they're retired, etc. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind that. It's the fact that they don't even acknowledge them. Like it genuinely really annoys me.
Yeah,
and it takes me out of the moment because I'm sat there then going, oh, that's Shane Helms. Oh, that's Jason Jordan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and instead of it being their name, it's just the officials have come to break it up.
Exactly, absolutely. Imagine Chad Gable had a massive brawl this week and Jason Jordan went in for break it up.
Get out.
Do you know what I mean? Just like...
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It just... I feel like I'd just scream out, why?
Okay. It sounds like Ian and Cal.
That's exactly why I did it that way. But yeah, it does. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I think we should definitely move to bury this for all time, as it really winds me up. And WWE's commentary teams need to sort it out. He's burying it already. There we go.
Oh, don't. Oh, no.
I don't like it when he does that. Sounds like he's being rude.
Sorry, I had to throw that in so quickly because it did not deserve. It doesn't. It needs to be buried. We both know it needs to be buried. There's no defence for it. It's disrespectful. Enough said.
And that's another buried alive moment from the team here at the Burning Truth Live. Buried alive.
Now, before we dive back into all the WWE drama, let's talk about making sure your holiday style is undeniable this year. If you want to be the tribal chief of your Christmas party, or the one who says, "You can't see me," because you are that stylish and profiling, you need the Burning Truth Christmas Jumper 2024.
Oh yes, this jumper is as snug as Gunter's sleeper hold and as sharp as a crossroads, and guaranteed to make you the people's champion of your Christmas celebrations. Whether you're looking to acknowledge your holiday dominance or just stay warm like a true ring general, don't wait, because this is a limited run.
The link is in the description below, or check out our website at theburningtruthuk.com to grab yours before it's counted out. Celebrate the holidays in championship style.
Ooh yeah, the cream rises to the top.
To the top time, to the top time, to the top time,
It's now time for the top three. The top three. The top three.
The top three. Go on then, Matt Burns. What are my top three this week?
For this week, I would like to hear Scott's top three Intercontinental Champions.
Oh, well, that's easy. Bret Hart, Bret Hart, Bret Hart.
Who are you?
Not. For anybody that doesn't know, this is going to be 2 minutes there where I throw shade on Bret Hart. He wasn't a good Intercontinental Champion. He wasn't a good WWE Champion. He wasn't generally a very good WWE superstar. I don't like him. He's whiny, and he's not in my top three. Send your hate tweets to @TBT Live UK. So, my top three Intercontinental Champions, I've got Bret Hart nowhere near him. Number three...
You don't say.
He just winds me up. I don't know why he has to be so negative about everything.
So bitter.
He genuinely...
It's so
genuinely,
bitter.
he wasn't that good. Like, he wasn't...
You know,
Yeah.
That's just so bitter on Bret Hart's side.
Yeah. So, number three. Let's do this in order of 3, 2, 1. My favourite Intercontinental Champions. Number three, a recent bias here, Matt Burns, but it's Gunter. Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. Gunter brought an unprecedented dominance and legitimacy to the title. He did what The Miz said he did, but
Yeah.
Gunter actually did it. The hard-hitting style, grueling matches, the ability to elevate every challenger that came for the belt, and he set a new gold standard in the modern era for the Intercontinental Championship, I think. I think he was really good. A reign for the history books. A phenomenal final match with Sami Zayn as well, which really showed the quality of the title reign. Matches at Clash of the Castle with Sheamus. Matches in other pay-per-views, you know, against the likes of Drew McIntyre. Really, really phenomenal title reign with Gunter. And I don't think you can look past him in the top three anymore. I think I ummed and ahhed, and then I thought, no, actually, he deserves to be there, and that's why he is there.
Do you want me to
Number two.
Oh, no, before you move on, would I give you the interesting... Do you want me to give you a Matt fact?
Yeah, give us a Matt fact.
Here it says, do you know how long he held it for?
I'm sure it was somewhere around 400 days.
No, a lot higher.
Was it?
It was, in fact, 666 days.
Oh, wow, that's huge. That's just a little bit longer than I was United Wrestling World Champion. You're welcome.
We don't talk about
We don't talk about that. Number two, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, used the Intercontinental Championship as a springboard to superstardom. His reigns defined the belt as the workhorse title. Ladder match against Razor Ramon gets a special mention here at WrestleMania 10, solidifying both his legacy and the Intercontinental title's importance. And it would be really easy for me to put Razor Ramon in at number 2 as well. And I ummed and ahed about either of them, but I think for me it has to be Shawn Michaels, because when I think of that classic Intercontinental Reggie Parks Championship, I think about Shawn Michaels.
No, it's a good call. Definitely a good call.
I really like him with that championship, and he used it as a springboard into superstardom. It wasn't long after that title reign that he made his way to the main event, and the boyhood dream came true. And number 1, Matt Burns. Any predictions on my number 1?
A part of me wants to say a person with a list.
Probably was for a long time my favourite wrestler. And you're right, it is Y2J. It's Chris Jericho. With a record-setting 9 reigns, Jericho became synonymous with the Intercontinental Championship. Spanning multiple eras, Jericho used the title to tell compelling stories, elevate younger stars, and cement his place as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. The Ayatollah of rock and roller, which is where I'm most loved Jericho. He's undeniably, for me, the GOAT of the Intercontinental Championship. With that 9 reigns, I think Jericho is the most synonymous, I think, with that second version of the Intercontinental title. You know, like the smooth, rounded one, the oval belt.
Yeah.
And whenever I see that championship, the person I think about is Chris Jericho. And I think he was the best Intercontinental champion for me, because he held it, yes, in a time where it maybe was as it has been, and it became, but during the time when Jericho, Benoit, Angle were vying for that title, Eddie Guerrero, I think he made it really important. So for me, Jericho, number 1, and still winning the belt well into the late 2000s, and I think the early 2010s as well. Jericho was still winning Intercontinental titles. So
his last reign was the 7th of June 2009.
Oh, there you go. So I was close. But yeah, absolutely brilliant Intercontinental champion. And that, Matt Burns, is my top 3 Intercontinental champions. Gunther, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. And I will just pop an honourable mention in for 2 people.
Go on.
The Honky Tonka Man.
Yeah.
The second longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
Okay.
And another one probably is a comedic favourite Intercontinental champion.
Go on.
Santino Marella. I thought he was fantastic when he was doing the bit where he would come out on Monday Night Raw and he would say how long he's had the belt, and he'd had it about 20 days, and he was like, and I will beat the Honky Tonk Man's record, and he'd have the Honky Tonk Man's record on the bottom of the screen. I thought that was absolute gold, and I wish Santino had beaten the Honky Tonk Man's record, but that's just not the world we live in.
No, it's not, unfortunately. But another one I want to give a bit of a shout out, and with they only had 2 reigns with this championship, it would be none other than Mr. Perfect.
Oh, great shout! So Mr. Perfect's the one who lost it to Shawn Michaels initially, right?
I believe it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Absolutely great shout. Mr. Perfect's another really good Intercontinental champion. Also could have said Macho Man Randy Savage, Pedro Morales, and the original champion, the guy who won it on that dark and stormy night in Rio de Janeiro, Pat Patterson.
You said it was Shawn Michaels. It wasn't, I don't think. It wasn't.
Oh, it was Brett that beat Mr. Perfect. Oh, I don't like him anymore.
No.
That was the top 3. Thanks very much, Matt Burns. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it's time for you to rebook something.
This is Cheap Plugs with Matt Burns, and today I'm here to talk about something every wrestling fan needs in their life, that wrestling show on Black Country Extra. Mickey and Dennis bring you all the latest wrestling buzz, from the hottest rivalries to classic throwbacks. It's like a WrestleMania moment in every episode. Catch it on demand anytime at blackcountryradio.co.uk or join the action live on Black Country Extra. Don't miss it, folks. This is your ringside seat to the best wrestling banter in the Black Country. Remember that wrestling show on Black Country Extra. Now, let's get back to the action.
Who trusted these guys with the book? It's rebook this. Louder straw, it's rebook this. Take a shot, it's rebook this. Rebook this.
Yes, it's time to rebook this. Matt Burns, this week it's your turn, and we're back to classic rebooking. We're not pre-booking this week, and this week I want you to rebook for me off the top of the your head and off the cuff, because there's been no prior time to think about this week. I would like you to rebook the December to Dismember Extreme Elimination Chamber match, please, because as we know, it was horrendous. So if you could please rebook the main event of the worst WWE pay-per-view ever.
Destiny. This is my destiny. This has been my destiny. This is something I feel like I've been mentally trying to get you to say it to me, sending you, mental signals, because I have always wanted to rebook this. Always. Because
no pressure then.
Oh, none at all. Because I've had plenty of knowledge in the back of my head and anything. Because I feel as though, yes, they were trying to make a new star with Bobby Lashley, but Lashley was already a household name to a degree already. I feel as though they could have built somebody else up here. Instead of it, being, yes, we had Big Show, who was the champion. Now, I feel a little bit of this should have been down to the fact of, it should have been down to what was meant to be originally planned by the original booker of the ECW segment of Paul Heyman against what we actually got. Because I feel as though Paul Heyman had a bit of a good idea in the fact that he wanted Big Show out of there immediately to set that tone of, there's guaranteed we're going to get a new champion. And what better way to do that than by first eliminating Big Show immediately? But we had, straight away. For me, Big Show to be eliminated first, followed by probably Test.
Was Test in this match?
Yes, he was.
Oh my God, that's a blast from the past.
Yep. So a part of me says, even though it is Test, but it's not really a test, but it is a test. But anyway, RVD to be eliminated after Test. Hardcore Holly be eliminated because he was having that bit of that feud with Punk, if I'm not mistaken, during that time as well. But I feel as though it should be like Lashley should be getting some big. Lashley should be the one to have eliminated Big Show with the spear, effectively immediately. As for RVD and Hardcore Holly, I feel, Test and Hardcore Holly should be eliminated by Punk, and RVD probably eliminated by Hardcore Holly. Now, the final two should be Bobby Lashley and CM Punk. For me personally, as much as Bobby Lashley is a wrecking machine himself, I think this would have been a really good way of setting up CM Punk straight into that main event for the ECW World Championship by having him using his wiles and, because he was that submission specialist. Yes, Lashley was sort of, at the time, he wasn't an MMA fighter back then. He was just a powerhouse. So why didn't they use CM Punk, use his skills and submission to actually catch Bobby Lashley off guard and shock everybody?
Yeah.
So straight away there, immediately having CM Punk come out as the new ECW World Champion.
I really like that. And I think it's probably better than what we did get. Well, I know it is. It's definitely better than what we did get.
Definitely. Because
I don't know if it saves the rest of the show, Matt Burns, but it certainly saves the main event.
Definitely, because if bear in mind, there was. I'm glad you kept it to the main event, because how would I have rebooked that opening match?
You would have needed more stars. Let's be fair. Talk me through that finish again and why you came to that conclusion that that's what you'd do.
the reason why I thought to myself, Big Show has done something already astronomical already. He's the first wrestler to be world champion in ECW, WCW, and WWE.
Yeah.
So that record's already been done. And I feel as though for shock value, him being eliminated first guarantees a new world champion. Right? Now, and everybody loves, and bear in mind, Big Show's been villainous with Paul Heyman and everything.
Yeah.
Him being eliminated, being caught off guard, would have been a perfect time for it because his hubris got the best of him.
Yeah, okay, yeah, good word.
All right, so straight away there, he's eliminated. Then we've got Test, who sort of coming in, tries to match power for power with Bobby Lashley. It's not exactly going to work, is it?
Yeah, which really puts over Bobby Lashley at that point, right?
Yeah, it starts building up Bobby Lashley a little bit, but then we've got RBD coming in, doing some cool moves and everything, because he was always, he could catch Bobby Lashley by surprise, but just when you think RBD's going to get the win, we've got Hardcore Holly there, who's a bit of a wily vet and everything and tough as nails, sort of catch RBD while he's showboating and, pretty much take him out. And immediately we've got Punk there, who's going to sort of teach Hardcore Holly a bit of a lesson, while he's not long after dealing with RBD, which then leaves two top guys, right there. But for Test, though, I'll say again, even though Lashley will pretty much take out Test, we'll then have CM Punk catch Hardcore Holly off guard. And then, Lashley's got 2 eliminations, Punk's got 1, because Lashley's the bigger of the two of them, and is the powerhouse. Everyone's going to be instantly thinking Bobby Lashley, and as much as at the time Bobby Lashley didn't have his MMA background, then he was just known as a brute force powerhouse. Now Punk was known for technical submissions, and I feel as though technique can sometimes can actually outmaneuver power and strength alone, because if you've got, as much as you can be as strong as possible, if you've got a certain technique, it can eliminate that strength immediately. Yeah. So straight away, I feel as though Punk might have had a bit of an edge with him being a submission specialist, because not only, he had so many ways to getting people to tap, but that Anaconda device was lethal at the time when he was eliminating people. So that's why I went down that route instead of the original plan of what happened.
Great. I really like that, Matt Burns. Well done. I think a great rebooking of that match itself. I would say, in terms of what you had to work with for that match, I think this might be a 5 bangers, because I don't know what else you do that tops what you said. So I think, this one might be, although it's just 1 match booking, I think it's a 5-star, a 5-banger booking.
Yes!
So well done on that one, Matt Burns. I think that pretty much wraps us up.
That pretty much wraps us up for for Rebook This.
And that was Rebook This.
And that wraps up another explosive episode of The Burning Truth Live. Thanks for joining us. This week's drama and excitement has us both fired up, and we hope you felt the same.
If you want to keep the conversation going, you can find us on Twitter or X at TBT Live UK, Instagram at The Burning Truth, and Facebook at The Burning Truth. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at The Burning Truth 251 for all our episodes, live reactions, and exclusive bonus content, including this week we'll be coming at you with Saturday night's main event predictions.
And some exciting news and exclusive. The Burning Truth has joined Blue Sky at TBT Live UK, so stay tuned for updates on where to follow us next, because you never know where we could pop up next.
And you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and drop us a review. Your support helps other wrestling fans find us just like you did. Plus, visit the website theburningtruthuk.com for more updates, articles, and insider scoops.
And until next time, stay hyped, enjoy the magic of the square circle, and as always, DFTBA. And in case you don't know what that means don't forget to be awesome!
Excelsior!
Psst, it's Scott. Did you rate and review the podcast yet? Cheers.